We could have a big goalie controversy brewing in St. Louis as Jordan Binnington continues to really struggle this year. And Ville Husso is playing the best hockey of his life and looks like he could be a goalie of the future in the NHL. Is it time for the St. Louis Blues to make the full-time switch and put Husso in that starting job? Let's discuss. Hey everybody, so while the St. Louis Blues are having a very solid season in the Central Division, very strong team out west, there's a lot of questions going on with regards to their goaltending, particularly if Ville Husso could steal the starting job from Jordan Binnington this year and end up taking over that full-time starting role, because the end of the day, Ville Husso has been a much better goaltender for the St. Louis Blues than Jordan Binnington has been this season. We're going to get into that here. We're going to take a look at the numbers for these guys and make the case and the discussion here that Ville Husso should probably be the St. Louis Blues starting goalie. So let's get into it here, taking a look at these two goaltenders this season. First, we're going to start just the year as a whole. Entire season, Jordan Binnington has started 23 games for the St. Louis Blues. He's 11-9-3 with one shutout, a .901 save percentage, and a 3.27 goals against average. Something that really sticks out here to me is the goals against for Jordan Binnington, giving up almost over 3.25 goals against per game when he is in the net. That is not good. That is really bad. You do not want your starting goaltender having a goals against over 3, and he's pretty significantly over 3. That's troublesome here for St. Louis, because that puts a ton of pressure on their offense to have to score at least 4, if not 5 goals to win a game. And, I mean, statistically, nobody scores 5 goals a game. So, that's putting a lot of pressure on the offense, and he just has been giving up way too many goals this season. The save percentage is also not very good at only .901. He's got to be a lot better than that. I mean, if he's going to be your franchise starting goaltender, he's got to be a lot better than that. And so far this season, he hasn't been. It's been a tough year for Jordan Binnington. And, it's one thing if your starting goaltender is struggling, and it's a really bad situation if your starting goaltender is struggling and you don't have a backup that can put up quality numbers or surpass him. That's not the case in St. Louis, because if we flip over here to the other side and look at Ville Husso, he is having probably the best season of his entire life in playing hockey, certainly his best NHL season. He's only started 12 games, but he is 8-2-1 on the year with 2 shutouts, a .943 save percentage, and a 1.88 goals against average. Just absolutely phenomenal numbers for Ville Husso. Now, it is a rather small sample size. He's only started 12 games, but a .943 save percentage is absolutely spectacular. Goals against under 2, outstanding. And obviously 8 wins out of the 12 games that he started, whereas Binnington only has 11 wins, and he started almost twice as many games. Ville Husso has been winning a lot more than Jordan Binnington for the St. Louis Blues, percentage-wise of how many games that they've played. So, Husso has been the better goaltender over the course of this entire season. Now I want to break it down just to the month of January, because I think we're starting to see that switch where Husso is starting to take over a little bit. They've actually split starts in the month of January. Now, over the year as a whole, Binnington has still started a lot more games, but in January, the Blues have played 10 games so far. Binnington has started 5, and Husso has started 5. They've split this month. Binnington is 2-3-0, no shutouts, .869 save percentage, which is absolutely brutal. I mean, it really doesn't get much worse at the NHL level than that. And a 5.02 goals against average. I mean, Binnington hasn't been great all year, but this month in particular has been absolutely horrible for Jordan Binnington. January has been an absolute disaster for him in goal. On the other hand, for Ville Husso, I mean, just sparkling numbers. 5-0-0 in the 5 games that he started. 1 shutout. An absolutely ridiculous 965 save percentage and a 1.13 goals against average. He's barely giving up more than 1 goal a game. Absolutely outstanding from Husso in net. Now, obviously, it's a pretty small sample size here for the 1 month because it's only 5 games for each guy. But talk about guys having vastly different months. Binnington's been awful, and Husso's been absolutely incredible. And when you look at it, the Blues, who are 7-3-0 in the month of January, have won 5 of those 7 games with Husso in net and only 2 of those 7 games with Binnington in net. Again, Husso is the more winning goaltender for this team this season. So that begs the question now, is it time for them to kind of, take their guy, Binnington, who's, Stanley Cup winner, has been their guy. They've signed to an extension. They've kind of committed to as their goalie. Is it time for them to put him on the bench and make Ville Husso the full-time starting goaltender? Obviously not going to play every game, but should Husso take over the starting role? I am really starting to think so. I am really, really starting to think so for a few reasons here, and we'll get into those right now. As first of all, obviously Husso's been the better goaltender this season. I mean, the statistics, it's not like they're even close. Like, there's literally no argument there. The statistics aren't even close. Husso has been vastly better than Jordan Binnington all season long and in the past month. So you have got 2 little time frames there. You've got the season as a whole, and you've got the past month. And Husso's been better than Binnington in all the way through, both time frames. So it's not like you just have a hot goalie who's come on and had a really good month and starting this goaltending controversy. This has been like a season-long thing. Husso has been better. And when you're the St. Louis Blues and you're in a tough division in the Central, you're fighting for playoff positioning, you're trying to keep up with great teams like Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota, the other tough teams in that division, you need to win every game that you possibly can. You need every point that you can possibly get. So when you're, Craig Berube, when you're the Blues, when you're the coach, and you're getting ready for a game and you're trying to decide who's going to start, the number 1 criteria for starting goaltender should be who gives us the best chance to win this game. And right now, there is absolutely no question that Ville Husso gives you a better chance to win the game than Jordan Binnington. There's just no argument there. Husso is better statistically. He's winning a higher percentage of his starts. He's just been absolutely 100% better than Jordan Binnington. Ville Husso gives you the best chance to win on a night in and night out basis. And I think it's time. We've started to see the switch. Binnington was obviously the full-time starter early in the season, getting a large majority of the starts. And now we've seen just in the past, in this month, in January, it's become a 1A, 1B. They've split starts. It's been 5 for each guy. I think we're starting to see Berube make that decision and switch it over to Ville Husso being the starter. And that's not an easy thing to do for the Blues, and especially Craig Berube, who Binnington came in. His rookie year was absolutely spectacular. Saved the Blues season in 2019. Went on to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, he's got that Stanley Cup pedigree. It's a tough decision to make. But Jordan Binnington isn't playing the way that he did in 2019. Not even close. Not even close. So I think you kind of have to realize here that he just isn't playing like he did when you won the cup, and he's not that goaltender anymore, at least not right now. And you kind of have to take that and, take those memories aside and push them aside and say, who's going to win us games right now? Because right now, that's Ville Husso. And I think it's time for him to be the starter in that starting net. 3 out of 4 games for the Blues. Start giving him some big games. Start giving him the tough matchups against quality opponents. See if he can keep up playing the way that he is this season. Because, anytime you have a goaltender who's giving up under 2 goals a game, and that's Ville Husso right now with his 1.88 goals against average, you've got to have that guy in the net as much as you possibly can until he gives you a reason to take him out. And here's the thing. This doesn't have to be a permanent switch or a permanent decision. Maybe it ends up being that if Husso comes on and is spectacular for the rest of the year and they ride him through the playoffs and they go on a run, maybe it is. But it doesn't have to be. Your starting goaltending choice never has to be and never is a permanent decision. And I think it's time to at least give the kid a shot. Ville Husso is 26 years old right now, playing the best hockey of his career. And 26 is right around that time where a lot of goalies kind of come into their own and they're not developing goalies anymore. They really start to find their game. 26, 27, around there. That 25 through 27 range is that spot for a lot of goalies where they just finally get it. They're past the development stage and they finally hit their stride. And I think we might be seeing that with Ville Husso in the way that he's playing this year. So I think it's time to give the kid a shot. Play him in the starting role. 3 out of 4 nights, 3 out of 5 games, whatever. Play him in the starting role until he gives you a reason not to. And if his numbers start to decline or he starts to lose it and not play the way that he has most of this year, then you go back to Binnington and say, hey, Jordan, here's your chance to win your job back. You want that to be your net, win it back right now because he's starting to fall off a little bit. But on the other hand, if you switch to Husso and he keeps playing the way that he is with a 940 save percentage, now he probably won't keep that up. But if he keeps his save percentage over like 920, 925, keeps his goals against right around 2, I mean, you've got a guy that you can win with, and you've got a guy putting up great numbers that should be able to take you on a run in the playoffs. So I don't know. I mean, it's not an easy decision. It's a tough thing for any coach to deal with when you have, the guy who's supposed to be the guy struggling and the backup playing like a Vezina candidate. Sometimes that's not as, it seems like it should be an easy decision, but a lot of coaches struggle with that because the starter is supposed to be the guy. But at the end of the day, if you're the St. Louis Blues, your main goal is to win as many hockey games as you possibly can. Get the highest seed for the playoffs as you can and try and go on a run through the postseason. Which goaltender right now gives you a better chance to win hockey games? The choice is obvious. It's Ville Husso right now for the St. Louis Blues. So I think it's time for him to get the full-time starter's role, at least get a shot at it. I mean, if his numbers decline, if he starts to fall off, you put Binnington back in and, you say, here you go, Jordan, win your net back. But for right now, I think Husso at least deserves a shot because he has been playing absolutely outstanding this season, and they need to get him in more games. Him only having started 12 games so far really kind of stinks for the Blues because I think they'd have more wins if he started more games. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you're Craig Berube right now, are you riding Binnington hoping that he gets better? Or do you make the switch and make Ville Husso your starting goalie and see how far he can carry you heading into the playoffs this year? Let me know in the comments. I want to get your guys' thoughts. With that, please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our merchandise store, memberships, and donation links are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys soon.